Hey everybody, this is Rob Lenfesti, owner and founder of Mandala Chocolate. We're standing here at beautiful Mandala Springs, home of Mandala Chocolate and myself. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about alchemy. So in our wording, our branding, and the way we speak about our chocolate, we use the word alchemy a lot. All of our bars say innovative nutritional alchemy on the front. And we have two varieties that are even called CBD alchemy and cacao alchemy. Historically speaking, in medieval times, the art of alchemy was trying to turn base metals like lead into valuable metals like gold through all sorts of experimenting and processes. And another branch of it, they were using different liquid metals and herbs and concoctions of all sorts of different things and trying to create the elixir of life. Now, the process of alchemy, when understood in a more esoteric level and generally by these practitioners in the medieval days, is they knew that what they were aiming for was potentially a goal that couldn't be achieved, but the learning, the growth, and the adventure that they would take on the way in the process would lead to major insights, innovations, and breakthroughs, which it did, and by accident they would stumble across other valuable information. So that's kind of a historical context for alchemy. Now, this day and age, what we mean when we're talking about alchemy is we are talking about taking unique and special different individual parts. Like in this sense, we have, cacao and mesquite, chaga and reishi, lucuma, mucuna. We have all of these different very special ingredients that have their own beauty by themselves, but we are very carefully formulating them in a way that creates something greater than the whole. Taking individual parts, creating something greater than the whole. And this is a beautiful metaphor for life. Like any collaboration between any different units, when a collaboration works, the energy that it creates and what it's able to accomplish is greater than the sum of its parts. That's part of the magic and the alchemy of a living system that is holistic, empowering, and innovative. A great example is a band. So I'm sure you've been to a bar and seen the local garage band up there playing, and they're having a blast and they're having a good time and they're doing a thing, and it's enjoyable. It's fun, but it is what it is. Juxtapose that with a super band on a big stage. They've been playing together for 30 years. They've got the presence of a band that knows what they're doing. Everyone's playing exactly in the right spot. The sound is perfect. The scene is perfect. What they'll create, what you'll see and what you'll hear feels mythical in its proportions. There's a supernatural, almost godlike presence to a band with that level of chemistry, that level of alchemy on stage. And it's a process of reduction. These guys know each other. They know exactly where they fit in the mix, and they're not playing any notes that conflict with each other, so the whole thing can light up and expand in a way that is impossible otherwise. Same goes with our chocolate. We take all of these different superfoods and ingredients, we put them together in a way that ensures that they are collaborating and working together to create something greater, rather than just throwing a bunch of superfoods in that we like, thinking that that's going to actually make it that much better. I mean, we have some pretty complex recipes, but this comes from really diving deep into the chemistry of the different constituents in these different superfoods and looking at how these different constituents interact with each other. Because on a chemical level, especially when we're stone grinding everything to such a small particle size, you're gonna have all kinds of different interactions between these different compounds and elements. So we have to take special consideration in our formulation, and ultimately it comes down to the level you learn the science, you learn what works together and what doesn't, but most importantly, you learn the character and the spirit of these different constituents, and you learn how they fit together as a community, because these are all living entities. They have their own personalities. Before we put them into the chocolate, understanding how they all fit together. And the ultimate test is then when you eat this chocolate. Does it feel like a garage band wall of sound? It's good, but that's it. Or is it something more? Is it something that is beyond explanation, that is greater than the sum of its parts. That is the spirit of what we mean by alchemy. And when we say that we create the most nutritious chocolate in the world, keep in mind that we're not just talking about these nutritional elements. Part of the alchemy, part of this process, is that this chocolate nourishes the farmers and the plants and the mushrooms where they're growing. The process of harvesting them and growing them nourishes the land, nourishes the populations of our wildcrafted herbs. That the chocolate being made on this property and supporting this property nourishes this property. And eventually that the chocolate itself nourishes the person using sustainable packaging, biodegradable sleeves, recycled boxes. All of these pieces, all of the little tiny details create the alchemy that is the chocolate that you are eating, something that is greater than the sum of its parts. It's also the intention of the people making it. We live in this beautiful place where we can keep our bodies, minds, and spirits happy, healthy, and strong. And we can put that intention with our understanding of yoga and qigong and the way that energy moves through the body, through us, and into whatever we are creating. And we can integrate that into the chocolate at the same time. So we're hitting as many holistic levels as we possibly can of collaborative intention. And the proof is in the chocolate. Once again, I'm Rob Lenfesti. I create the most nutritious chocolate in the world here in paradise. I am so grateful for all of you. Happy to have you here with me. Lots of love, and we'll talk soon.